Howdy! I wanted to talk about Kaku the Ancient Seal. This is a new 3D platformer, open world sort of game. It's in a similar vein to Zelda, I would say. You play this character who has very basic tools. It's more of a tribal feel towards the characters in the game. There's woods, campfires, and all the enemies use basic tools and magic. So you have enemies of these different tribes. They have like wooden sticks and spears. The character you play also uses kind of wooden objects to fight. But then there's magic element as well. There are enemies that are filled with magic, rock monsters. There are magic abilities the main character has as well, and a little slingshot. So you play this game, you hop in, you have this little tutorial area, and then you get transported to this hub. And one of the main things I really like about the game is that once you're in this hub, it sets the whole world for you. It gives you this map and says, hey, this is what you need to do. You need to collect these 4 different keys. Once you collect them all, you get to open this door, and that's your main mission of the game. And when you see the map, you see 4 hub areas, and each area has one of the keys or objects that you need to put into the door. And what's really cool is from the get-go, you're able to access all the areas at once. You can go to any area you want in any order, and I really like that freedom. And what's cool about this game too is being able to teleport between each place and location is really easy. From the get-go, when you teleport to area, initially, once you get there, you usually are nearby a stone statue, and you solve a small puzzle to unlock the statue that unlocks a fast travel location. And once you unlock that, you can start fast traveling within the area that you're in. So from the get-go, you can travel to each location initially, and then once you're in there, once you start exploring each area, then you can unlock more fast travel points and go throughout the small map of the area. So each area has a different theme. There's a desert area, a fire area, a more Greenland area, and a more ice area. And once you hop into these areas, every area has a certain character you meet along the way, and you're basically playing through each little submission in the area that will eventually lead you to the piece that you need. So as you're going through these areas in the game, you have little campfires in which you can cook items that give you back health or stamina, or ammo for your little weapon that you got to shoot your little slingshot. But you also have the travel areas and these ruined pieces that you pick up along the way, and these little keys that unlock these temples. So at any time, no matter where you're at in the world, you have the ability to teleport to this other dimension. Once you go to this other dimension, you're in an area that has a bunch of statues, and this is the area where you can upgrade your stats, upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your abilities, all in this little area. And then besides that, there's these little placement hubs of temples. And you visit these little temples, and each temple is basically an equivalent of a puzzle challenge. Very similar to the newer Zelda games, if you've played those recently. Very reminiscent of that. The puzzles themselves, for the most part, are not too challenging. I was able to get through the ones that I played without too much effort, so it was nice to be able to open the door with a key, go in, do it, and get out. You don't spend a lot of time in these ruined areas, and each time you go through it, you unlock an extra little bonus, so it's worth doing. And then you can do as many as you want, or you can upgrade however you want, and then you can easily teleport back to exactly where you just were. And that's what I think the highlight of this game is overall, is being able to teleport and maneuver around really easily and pretty quickly and pretty seamlessly. And I think that's what makes this game stand out against other games of its type. Now, as far as the rest of the game goes, I mentioned the combat. I started playing it on normal difficulty, but I found after getting to the first boss in the tutorial area, the difficulty kind of ramped up a little bit for me, and I started reverting back to an easier difficulty. And once I did that, I had a little bit better time with the game. There's weapon attacks, you know, fast attack, slow attack. You are dodging a lot. There's not much option as far as blocking goes. You can, but it's more based on you kind of maybe doing a parry or just moving out the way. It's not quite a Souls game. It has little elements in there, but it's not a quick hack and slash either. It's like a mix in between. You're playing this game encountering enemies on the map, but you have certain bosses, and then with the slingshot, it's a combination of using it for combat as well as the environment. So when you're going through the environment, you can shoot a slingshot, these crystals to help get you more materials to cook or make things, or in combat, you can use it to attack enemies. And you get multiple types of slingshot ammo. You have a basic one that you kind of have an unlimited resource for, and then you have other ones that you have to craft or make. Again, element-based. You have a fire one, electric one, more water-based. And throughout the map, sometimes you encounter these plants that are covering access to something, whether it's a chest or a monument of some sort, and they'll pop the color up of which slingshot bullet you need to destroy it. So it'll come up a certain symbol and you'll know I need to hit it with that. And then once you hit it with that, it's kind of a one and done, and then gets rid of the plant and you get access to the area. So that's the time I encountered like block off moments. And the amount of weapon ammo you can carry, you could kind of increase a little bit over time. I didn't have any issues though. There's so much material to collect in the game, whether it's wood or crystals, that I felt like I had always an abundance amount of material to make the ammo and make the potions, because you have potions well for health and stamina, but you can also just take like the basic like plant level and increase your health or stamina back up that way. You can create potions and it gives you a little bit more of an extra boost to regain health and stamina back, but you could not do that and just quickly crunch a bunch of smaller plants and build up your health that way. Which actually I ended up doing more of, because I found that even with the potions and materials I was making, once you use one, there is a countdown timer on it. So if you're in mid-battle and you use a potion, you have to wait a few seconds before you can use another one. Whereas if you're just using the basic material, even though it fills your health or stamina a little bit, you can quickly button mash and just refill it very quickly. And since I always had an abundance of material to do that, I found that to be that easier option, especially in combat. So yeah, as far as traversal goes, there's cliffs and hills that you can climb and jump, and there's water traversal, but you gotta be careful where you go. Sometimes the water isn't very deep, you can just run right across it. Other times when it's really deep, if you go into it too far, you're gonna drown. You do get ability later though to kind of like create a circle bubble that allows you to cross that water for a certain period of time. So there is that element too, but you gotta be careful where you're going. And somewhat related to the travel I was talking about earlier, like when you die in this game, it respawns pretty quickly. I was playing this on the PS5, so it might have boosted the load time for me, but I found that it boosted it very quickly. And there was only one time where I ran into an issue where I kind of got myself stuck in a really bad spot for a reload save, and I had to like go back and manually load up a save instead of like continuing where I left off. But that was like the only main time I ran into that issue. Now, as far as the character looks okay. The world looks fine. It's a little cartoony. The world itself is slightly more realistic. It gives me the vibe of like a PlayStation 2 platformer in somewhat of a good way, in the vein of like an old Jak and Daxter or something. they have the element here with the characterization that I don't fully love, which is the voice element. So the story is like fine for what it is. It's kind of basic. You've seen it a few times before in video games. I feel like so far with the story and what you need to do is nothing too special. It's more of what elements of playstyle and traversing the world make it a little bit unique and different, I would say. For the characters, they are voiced, but they do speak in their own language, which, depending on the game, for me personally, I like or don't like. This one, I don't love it so much, only because when I was playing it, I felt the audio sometimes would be there and would not. There might be an update further along in this game too, because I was playing it before release, but I found a lot of the time with the dialogue especially, there were to be sometimes like no voiceover when there was supposed to be, or if a character was talking in their own language, it was like very short and quick, or it felt like it was cut off partway through. So when I was seeing the dialogue and the subtitles of what they were saying, it wasn't quite matching what I was hearing. And I've heard that sort of thing done better in other games when it comes to like speaking their own language and, you know, making like little gibberish noises or whatever. So I didn't love that element to it, and took me out of the game for a bit, and I almost would have rather just had no voiceover at that point, because it just kind of threw me off so much. The music's fine, you know, it's serviceable for what the game is, but it's nothing that's gonna like stick in my head forever. So overall, as far as this type of game, it's not the best I've ever played, but if you have extra time on your hands, I still think it's worth checking out. There is a lot of content there because each of these hub areas has a lot going on, although some of it is repetitive. You're gonna see the same enemies over again. You're gonna see the same monuments over again. So you might wanna, you know, spend time in one section and then move on to the next section, maybe do one section at a time. Even though you can traverse to different spots, that might be the way to play it, I would say. Again, the highlight is being able to teleport, move around very quickly, have a hub area, being able to update and upgrade your abilities. I felt like the ease of use of the game overall was really nice. And that made the experience a lot better, I think. If it didn't have those elements, I don't think I would enjoy the game as much. So you can get it now. I played it on console, on PS5, and again, with a minor glitch here or there, it ran pretty fine for me. So if you like action-adventure 3D platformers, if you were reminiscent of games that are early, you know, PS2 era, sort of, or if you like the Zelda Breath of the Wild type of games, this might be worth checking out.